I've always thought, how do I bring more value to you than I get in return? It's very simple. Karma, or doing the right thing, always works.
Learning to provide value is absolutely vital if you want to succeed and live a fulfilling life. Today, I will discuss why it is so important and how we can make sure we are applying this trait to our day-to-day experiences. This video will also be the first in a series I will be doing on this channel titled Essential Life Skills. From time to time, I will make an upload that falls into this category, discussing an important life skill and how we can utilize it. I am interested to hear what other life skills you would like me to talk about, so feel free to leave any suggestions in the comments. Also, like always, I haven't mastered the art of providing value. However, I have 3 ways of thinking that I have learned which could help you in being a valuable person. Let's get started. How could something be valuable to someone if they feel detached from the thing itself? That is the exact question you need to always keep in mind when assessing how to give value. One of the most important components is inclusivity, creating a welcoming aura within whatever you are doing. The very definition of value refers to something being important and useful to someone else. You do not create value for yourself, you do it for others. With that in mind, here are some ways to make sure you uphold this inclusivity within your method of providing value. First, be very conscious of the language that you use. Prioritize using plural pronouns instead of possessive pronouns. Let me give you 2 phrasings of the same idea as an example. You need to stop being lazy versus we need to stop being lazy. I think you can see which is the stronger statement. The second wins for many reasons, but the detail I will highlight is the inclusivity factor. If I use the word you, I single someone out, making them feel excluded and outcasted. They will feel attacked and my message will be lost. However, when I use we, I am still talking to that person, but I have also included myself in that statement, as well as everyone else watching. Your message and therefore value will be strengthened by being as accessible as possible. Using buzzwords like we, us, everyone, and all will make people more likely to listen. And as a result, there is a higher chance of them seeing the value you have. Now, let me go over some discrepancies and exceptions. I'm not saying that you can't use possessive pronouns at all. It's just that sometimes that can do more harm than good. However, there are cases where you will have to use pronouns like I and my. And the 2 I would like to briefly discuss are stories and opinions. Obviously, stories and opinions are coming from an individual perspective, so using a possessive pronoun is inevitable. However, that doesn't mean you can't provide value with these personal thoughts. Make sure that there is a purpose behind sharing these experiences and ideas. If you are sharing something individual, then there should be either a clear message, lesson, or thought-provoking detail that provides value to someone. Just remember, always be conscious of what value is, being useful for others. Do everything you can to present your value in an inclusive manner where we can all clearly see what you have to offer. This section will focus on additional strategies for constructing value, while also detailing how we can better brainstorm for creating the value itself. The center thought for this part will be this: if I have a problem, someone else does too. One of the best ways to provide value to others is by offering advice on solving problems, and there are thousands of different issues to consider, from struggling with social anxiety to having a broken toilet. The range of problems that we have as people is too wide for just one person to cover. With this need for solutions in mind, there is a place for you to provide value, but again, we must be conscious of how we actually present that value in order for the message to be best heard. Do not fall into the trap of just talking about your problem. People want to hear how it can be fixed or lessened for them, not why you have it. This might also be an indicator that you haven't solved the issue entirely yourself, and in that case, you might want to accomplish that first. Once again, I will repeat that you create value for others, not for yourself. Center the message around a method, mindset, or plan that helps someone with their issue. This is the exact method that I try to follow whenever I make any piece of content for you. You can look at all of my uploads on TikTok and YouTube as examples. If you didn't realize it before, every single problem that I talk about, I've gone through. However, I don't explicitly state that fact at the beginning of every video. Imagine if every time you saw one of my uploads, it started like this: I used to have this problem, or I struggled with this. I guarantee you wouldn't be as engaged. Instead, I do my best to jump right into the meat of the topic, highlighting the value in what I'm saying as quickly as possible. Additionally, I make sure that I actually include advice for you on how to solve the problem. When I am making content, I always have this thought in my head: what is the best way I can help others with X topic? I also keep this truth in mind: nobody cares about my problems. I don't mean that in a negative way, but people are not scrolling through social media to help me. They are in need of value for themselves, and it's my obligation to put that value out there onto the internet. I will say this though: you don't need to have all the answers to talk about it. I am certainly an example of that. As long as you can provide some degree of understanding on an issue, then that is perfectly enough. With that said, in the process of distributing this value to others and seeing their reactions, you might also gain a new understanding of the problem. That has definitely been the case with me. In summary, when providing value to the world via advice on an issue, the goal is always to aid others in solving it, not the other way around. This is definitely my favorite section because I think it contains the most important lesson for generating value. Here's the main idea: make your value last after you are gone. This is the key detail that can really make you stand out from everyone else. If you can leave something for them after you are done providing value, you've just doubled your usefulness. The best way to do this is by creating a call to action within your message. Whether it be asking a question or making a challenge, get the person to utilize the knowledge you have just given them. Remember though, that this must be a genuine request and should be connected to the topic of discussion. On the same note, it doesn't have to be perfect every time. You don't have to create an intensely provocative question that changes someone's entire worldview. Make it understandable, something that people could tangibly do after consuming your value. Obviously, not everyone who engages with you will accept this call to action, but that's not the point. Remember, our goal here is to simply produce as much value as possible for others, and adding this finishing touch will definitely help you in accomplishing that. The results from consistently doing this are simple. People will value you even more. They are more likely to remember you and what you bring to the table, and it might motivate them to return a second time. Once again, look at my entire channel as an example. In almost all of my uploads, you can see that I leave questions and mini challenges for you that relate to what I just talked about. Do I expect that everyone who clicks on my stuff will make it to the end to see that call to action? Of course not. However, I include them for the people who do make it to the finish, because they most likely found the video to be valuable. So I give them one final piece to leave with. Overall, providing a call to action will set you apart from the crowd. It will add weight and validity to what you just said, because if someone does answer the question or complete the challenge, they'll say, wow, what this person said was actually right. Just adding that little anecdote will do so much for increasing your usefulness and generating better results for the people who consume what you created. I want to reiterate that this is truly an essential life skill that you need to develop. I use creating content as the only example because that is how I am currently providing value to the world. However, I'm sure you understand that providing value is super encompassing, and the strategies discussed can be used in a job, relationship, or other areas of life. I highly advise you to dedicate time to honing your ability to generate value. It will reward you long term. I'm curious though, where are you right now on this journey? Have you learned to provide value? And if so, How are you currently accomplishing that? Let me know in the comments, and leave a like if you enjoyed. As always, this has been Dark Horse, and I will see you in the next video.